Good morning. This is Stephen Diedricks from Taxile Limited, your local accounting firm here in Hawke's Bay. And today I'll be sharing some information on declaring our financial independence here with you on Radio Kidnappers. But before I go on, I'd just like to thank Ken and his team for a great job they do in editing and putting this program on, and also a great word of gratitude to our sponsors out there who keep us going. So thank you very much for that. So let's get on with declaring our financial independence and what this actually means. So I'll start off just with a brief situation that happened to myself, and then I will tone it down, bring it into how things can apply to you and how we can get back our financial independence. So as I've alluded to, I have an accounting practice, and in New Zealand, in the tax world, the 31st of March, which is around the corner, is a big date for filing income tax returns for taxpayers who have tax agents. So it's a really busy time. And what I do, and I'm sure many other accountants do this as well, is come mid-April, I would send out to my clients a list of information that I need to complete their financial statements and tax returns, and so we can get it done in a timely manner, less stress. And the majority, almost all clients, provide the information in a timely manner, and things tick along really well, which is the way it's supposed to be. But as usual, there are some stragglers, and so we try and accommodate them and keep on hurrying them up to send information. But it comes along in dribs and drabs, and it becomes a bit of a rush for everyone involved. And me personally, on last Sunday, I was walking out to the office, and as I left the house, I decided, no, I'm going to declare my independence on this matter. And I turned around and told my wife that the concert she was planning for our family to attend later in the day, I'll be joining them, and these people can just wait. So that was a good thing, and I then took myself off to one of my favorite coffee shops and just took some time out and thought about things, and I realized that these are the same people that are constantly late, and it's quite interesting thinking about that, because they effectively hand over their financial independence to, effectively in this case to me, and in other parts of their lives to others as well. And this is because they do not make their finances a priority, and because they wait for the last minute, things are a rush that they cannot take the time that's required to have a look at their accounts in this case and their tax returns. There's limited time for planning and to do things that is more tax effective, that may put some more money in their back pocket. So these people that's one example of giving away your financial independence. Now for me, from my side, and you may also find that that you have in other parts of your life, people that you have to kind of push along to get you things that you need, or really you have to push them along for them to help themselves. And in my case, I mentioned, I've started fretting and fuming over these people that have not provided their tax information in a timely manner. And so you may find that there's people in your lives that you fret and fume about, and I invite you to sit back and take up your independence on this matter, and just let it go, and and leave it at that, and then stop fretting. Actually, reminded of a verse in the Bible in Psalms which says, "Stop fretting." And just also on that point, it's while I was sitting in the cafe, I also thought of at Sunday school I learned that we were told that you cannot help people who do not help themselves. So I invite you to, if you have those situations around in your life, to just let it go, stop fretting, and take back your independence, and especially your financial independence. And now this flows through in other parts of people's lives as well, where they don't take up their financial independence. It's handed over to other people. For example, in families, it could be handed over to a spouse, or if people work, they hand over their KiwiSaver to financial planners, or other investments to financial advisors. Now, I'm not saying that these family members, financial planners, financial advisors, I'm not saying that they give good or bad advice. That's not the point here. The point is that many people hand that power over to family members, financial advisors, where they should, instead of handing it over, work together and stay in control of how their finances are taking place. So that way they have that, they're declaring their financial independence on that. And in some cases, people may find that they feel not worthy, they feel that they are a bit stupid in this particular area, or they feel they don't want to rock the boat, or they think they're going to ask a silly question. And those are valid concerns, but I invite you to basically get over that and focus on the end result, because it's your hard-earned money. So if you look at it with focusing on it's your hard-earned money, and you want to see that it's going to the right spot, then if you focus on that, maybe you'd ask your question anyway, even if you feel down below that it is a stupid question. Because what that does is it puts something out in the universe. And for some of you that have heard my shows earlier, you'd have heard that I like to mention the universe. But when you even if it's a silly question, and even if it's over a small amount that you take in control over your finances, you're putting out to the universe that I'm in charge, I'm in control. And when you do that, you tell the universe that, yes, I can take on more money and I can control more money. So in my mind, and I don't know how this works, but it's just in my mind, that if there's a flow that happens where you'll get more money to manage. It's like, if you think of it in your work situation, if you take control of the job that you've been given, there's a strong likelihood that your employer will give you more work, and that's because they know that you're capable. And that's the same with your finances. If you declare that you're going to be financially independent and take control of it, then more money will come to you so that you can control it. Now, there's in this day and age, there are still families where there's one spouse controlling the funds and the other spouse looks after the home, and the role may be reversed. Traditionally, as you know, it was the male working and the female at home. Now these days it's different. In some cases it's different. The female spouse may be working and the male may be at home looking after the kids, and that's just how things work. Irrespective of that, right? For both spouses, yeah, that's the word, spouses. If one is earning the income and controlling and basically generating the income and paying out the expenses, the spouse that's at home should also get involved in that and also share control of that. And the same way, the spouse that works should also learn how the washing machine works and how things work at home. And that's important for many reasons. It brings equality to the home, and I'm not a marriage counselor, so I'm not going to go down that track. But it's important because if either spouse falls ill, then the other spouse will know how the washing machine works to help out at home. But more importantly, if it's the spouse that deals mainly with the finances, then the other spouse will know about it, and it won't be something totally new to the spouse. And things that you can do for that is, like, for example, if the family has a check account, a savings account, investments, if there's wills or trusts, shares, it's important to know to know that, to know where the documents are, and also with bank accounts to know the access codes and the pins and that sort of thing, so that you're aware, so both people are aware of it. And the other thing is also, once you're aware of that, it does, you have to kind of review, especially investments, review them on a regular basis, but you deal with that with your financial planner. But the more important thing is, once you're aware that, yes, that we've got all these bank accounts, we've got this particular shares in these companies, for example, and other investments, it makes you feel at ease, because you know if there is any catastrophe that happens, you know that you can handle it, and because you know where all your finances are and how things are placed. So that is part of having financial independence, having that control over it. Because, you know, I mean, if you imagine the situation where one spouse has to constantly ask the other spouse for money and say why they're spending it, it doesn't lead to much harmony. So so I'd invite you to speak up and ask the questions that you need to ask, so that you can be more in control of finances. And it's not being in control over the other person, it's working together with your finances. Because one of the reasons people do give up the control is because they have this lack of, they may mess it up. So if I don't have control and I give control to someone else and it's messed up, then I can blame someone else because, you know, they were supposed to deal with it. Well, look, that's a cop-out. You know, it's you can't just put the blame on someone else for your particular finances. It's something that one has to step up oneself, and then take that joint control over the finances. But also, it's a personal thing. You know, if once you get your personal self-worth up, and you know that you do have control over your finances, you are managing it, then other things in your life also come right. So, yep. So anyway, I think I've spoken enough about that. Well, I will leave it at that, and just, you know, when you think about how you'll feel when you know you have independence and control over your finances, that you know, that gut feeling that you have, that feeling of sense of security. And I think if you keep that in mind as the end game, then we will all push through whatever we need to push through to get there. So thank you very much for listening and tuning in this morning to Money Talks on Radio Kidnappers. This is Stephen Diedricks from Tax Howl, and I look forward to speaking with you again. Thank you. Goodbye.